You know, it's such an interesting thing. Preparing for this class. So I'm personally never bothered or had the interest to explore exactly who composed what prayer when. You sit there, you pray. But I'm giving a class now it's built the history and the evolution of prayer, so I better find out. So guess what? Very often there are no clear-cut answers. Exactly when did this, who composed it, or when? The first prayer book, which is almost really the basis of our prayer book today, the first one was composed by Rabbi Amram Gaon, and he lived in the year around 580. Common Era. So this is post-Talmud, of course post-Second Temple, post-Talmud. As per the request of the people of his day, composed for us, put together an ordered structure of prayer that was followed by other prayer books, the Rambam, Rashi, the famous Machzeh Vitri. It's Rashi's disciple who lived in France, in Vitry. It still exists, this place? I don't know. Yes, it does. And he composed a famous prayer book that's the basis of all prayer books today. And we should also point out now, because there's a lot of confusion here. There's the Ashkenaz, there's the Sfard. Friends, actually there are, I don't know the exact number. Well, I'll tell you, yes. When the Alter Rebbe, the founder of Chabad, composed the Chabad order of prayer, he had in front of him, 60 different orders of prayer, different Siddurim. Please, however, know that in essence, the basic structure is all the same. It goes back to the men of the Great Assembly. The change is only very, very nuanced, extremely nuanced and subtle. And here's where there are some differences. Poems that were composed in the last few hundred years, 500, 600 years, or 400 years, that in customs, many communities adopted these additional piyutim, they're called, divinely inspired poems, into their prayer. But to begin with, they're not even considered as part of the body of the Siddur. They are custom, and they vary pretty widely. But it doesn't change really the essence of the prayer book. You see that mostly when it comes to holidays. A regular weekday, all Ashkenaz, within Sfarad there are so many, with Ashkenaz there are so many, 60 different versions. But again, all conforming to the basic outline, and the weekday is almost the same. A word here, a word there, content, meaning, basic order is the same. So when it comes to holidays, that adding all of these songs and poems, that's where the big difference is. So to the untrained ear, it's a whole different service. Never mind the melodies. But really, a melody, it doesn't change the substance. And the difference is in all these additions, which are just customary. And everybody who knows the prayer book knows that this is a custom. And they vary from community to community and different parts of the world. The Chabad Siddur, friends, is actually the barest Siddur possible. It's bare bones. On the one hand, the Alter Rebbe, the founder of Chabad, when he composed it, he actually kind of incorporated all 60 versions. Because I'll just tell you now, okay, when the Jews crossed the Red Sea, they crossed through 12 different paths in the ocean. Why not just go in one big opening as the movie portrays it? The answer is that each has their own path. Because each tribe, 12 tribes, each tribe has its own psyche, its own tribal characteristic. And so therefore, like for example, serving God out of love, out of awe, very different. Emotional relationships, scholarship, action, song, analysis, Talmudic analysis. These are all different dimensions to Judaism, and different tribes would excel in one or the other, and hence there were these 12 different paths that represent their different paths in the service of God, all leading, of course, to the same address and the same parallel complementary direction. But there was actually a 13th opening. Someone didn't know the tribal affiliation. 13th. Likewise, in the temple, there were 13 gates. Each gate symbolically representing a particular tribe. If someone did not have a particular tribe, a convert, no particular tribe, the convert is the what I'm looking for is the composite Jew, the Jew that incorporates everybody. The word just escapes me. If you can think of it, tell me. The what? Yeah, that too. I meant to say so there's a 13th gate. So the Alter Rebbe, the founder of Chabad, when he composed the Siddur, it's the 13th gate. This is a gate where every possible custom, orientation, or background can find the ladder. Prayer is a ladder connecting us to God. And that's really the reason why it is so simple, devoid of a lot of the custom and songs and poetry that other prayer books have, because they're very particular. They express a certain place in a certain time in a certain culture. Whereas the Chabad Siddur kind of transcends the cultural, spiritually cultural differences, and that's why it's the simplest. It's physically. You stack up all the prayers to the Chabad Siddur, like I'm just laughing because I come from a background from my father's side that's not Chabad and other Hasidic traditions and so on. Like they just can't get over. How Chabad, there comes these special days, and where's the special prayers and the hymns and the songs that for so many people kind of define their holidays? And Chabad, it's not there. By all means, sing and say them. But the reason why it's not is precisely because it is this universal, more opening that everybody can find their place.